All right, so let's talk to Dr. McMillan,
Hi.
compounding pharmacy. And this is one of the hardest things to find a good compounding pharmacy. And pharmacies have changed, and you're looking at me, what does that mean? I'm going to let Doc fill you in. But it's not just like you go, you buy a pill. These are specialized pharmacies that compound it just for you.
So yes, at Your Health Pharmacy, we like to think of ourselves as a boutique pharmacy that people do not know they need until they need us. So what we do is use your lab work in order to make your doses for you instead of just handing you a pill out of a bottle that was manufactured in somewhere in up north in New Jersey or New York or Connecticut, where a lot of the drug manufacturers are. So by doing that, we're able to have a precise dose for you. So we get a lot of patients that are not very familiar with that, and they may say, oh, well, I have a friend that was having hot flashes and she needed this particular dose in order to help her, but she's a different person. We're personalized medicine, which sounds very different, but once the doses are adjusted for you, you will feel better, and we like to get you right into your optimal health by using the correct dosage and not either underdosing or overdosing you. And a lot of times that's all based on how your liver, through genetic factors, are able to break down the chemical structure of any medication that you take. You may have a friend that says, oh, I could take Motrin, and that doesn't work for me, but I could take acetaminophen, that works great for a headache. Well, that's the liver, that's the way that your body is breaking it down that's making that difference. And we kind of stumble on that as we go through life, and we know how, what to take for a headache. But in our case, by using the lab work in order to determine what hormones, how many you have in your body, if your body is depleted in hormones, so you need a little bit to be reintroduced back into the body. We use bioidentical hormones, which these are the exact same chemical structures that your body used to produce that we reintroduce back into the body, versus a synthetic hormone, which are the ones that are patented and put into a bottle, and they trick your body into thinking it is a bioidentical hormone. But after so much time, the body starts to say, hey, wait a minute, that's not what I thought it was. So it's going to happen. You can fool the body for a little while, but the body starts to figure it out. And that's where, we're able to get around that by giving your body back what it used to produce itself.
And what's
Okay,
really,
hold on. Hold on.
Yes.
I'm taking the batteries out of him, Eva.
No, wait a minute. I want to understand this completely. So you look at my blood work, or look
Yes.
at somebody's blood work, and you'll be able to determine how you can fix some of the problems. Like, let's say I have neuropathy,
Okay.
which I was told the vitamin B complex family
Yes.
seems to be the way to go with that. And I want you to take a look at this during break or at the end of the show, because this is an amazing aspect. And so I come to you and I says, I have neuropathy and I want to increase my B vitamin family, because all of those that are involved. You'll be able to tell by my weight and my blood work how much I should be taking, not taking. Is that the way it works?
Yes, and so by doing your blood work, we're able to look at your hormones, your electrolytes, your vitamins. And remember, the human body is very complex. So it's not like a machine where the battery stops, you pop one out, put another one in, and the machine keeps going. A lot of times, things in the body work in concert with each other. So the B vitamins are helping some other pathway down the line, and it could be 6 or 7 steps away that needs the B vitamins in order to get there. And that's what we're looking at. What else is going on in the body? How is the body breaking down? And that's another, from the lab work, we can look at urine to see what's coming out, because if it's coming out the wrong way, that means somewhere upstream is being broken down in the wrong way. And we can use magnesium that has like 300 uses in the body to go and fix that. And you may have been thinking, I didn't think to just take 200 milligrams of magnesium every day and that was going to help me. But by looking at the lab work, we could kind of dig in there and pinpoint.
But
that
not all
was your issue.
magnesiums are the same.
No.
So
And-
what you're telling me, I see, this is really interesting because it's the right magnesium, the right B formulas, and you'll be able to tell what's the right.
So you know how all my meds come here?
Yeah.
They come from a compounding pharmacy. So they're
You
all.
know, you're really strange. We're gonna get into that. How can you tell me this now, when you see me take and
'Cause
try
you don't
every
listen to what I
freaking
say.
gizmo?
You listen to what other people tell you. You don't listen to me.
Anyway,
You take
let's
supplements that
ignore
other people give you.
the lady behind the curtain. That's an amazing thing.
It really
I
is.
mean, I don't know why.
And then the delivery system is different. There's creams, there's troches, there's all different types of delivery.
But did you hear what he said about the B to get from point A to point B? Sometimes you need the B to get there.
Yes.
I've been to a lot of doctors, but I've been to a lot of doctors and nobody's explained it this way. I mean, why isn't it that you're not at every hospital to talk to doctors to change how, and I know what the answer is going to be. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Because ask them how many bioidenticals are covered by insurance. None.
And how many deaths are
Right.
covered by insurance?
right.
How
and-
many bad things you take to make it worse covered by insurance?
Yep.
And why is it that you can't walk and I gotta find patches and everything else because what's that pill that tried to pop into me?
Yeah.
What's that called? Panadentrin?
Gabapentin?
Gabapentin.
That was covered, though.
It should be outlawed. It's the worst drug in the world, and I know people that take it in big doses, in
Yes.
bigger doses, and they're zombies, and they can't feel it, and their toes are coming off. Come on now. You know, being ridiculous is ridiculous. I just don't understand why we don't put you in front of a hospital and say, listen, when the doc tells you something, come and see you to do it the right way.
Well, that's why I named my pharmacy Your Health Pharmacy. And it was because when people really get serious about their health, we've heard many things throughout our lives, and they all have a different time in their life where it may have been valid. But sometimes we start to take things like gabapentin, and when you start to say, you know, I just really don't feel good on this, are there any other options? And many times I have patients who walk into the pharmacy just with looking for a different route to go, one that's more natural, and one that really can drill down to see what the underlying issue. I see myself a lot of times in the medical professions, especially amongst doctors. Everyone is very good in their specialty, but they're not looking at the whole person. It's nope, if you came in here about your heart, I'm going to fix your heart, and I do a great job at it, and you're happy with it, and you know, he makes a living. And the next guy, if you're happy with your, or you have an issue with your nervous system, you know, he can look at it and he could give you what works for your nervous system, but it could be something else that those two aren't talking to each other. They don't call up and say, hey, I had Freddie in my office and I was fixing this on his heart, but you might want to look at this because I saw something else. There's no in-between communication from the two doctors that are the best in their fields. And so sometimes, you know, when they stop by the pharmacy and they literally get out the car, they show us different labs and they just kind of have it in front of them. If it's usually within 1 or 2 months of their lab work, you know, that's usually pretty accurate. Most things in the body don't change that quickly. We could kind of see and assess and kind of dig in there and say, oh, but, you know, you're missing this, or by looking at the way that your genetics are made up, we can show that your body really needed double the dose than what you're getting. So yeah, you may not like gabapentin because your body really may need a smaller amount than normally prescribed. But that's also just as important. And now we have these type of tests that we can do to really kind of peel back the curtain and say, hey, what's going on with Freddie specifically from his genetics?
But Doc, that gabapentin, I never met nobody who should be on that drug. I was on it for 3 days, and to get off it, I felt like I was off of heroin. It was the worst feeling in the world being on it. And I know people that take it now, and they are mesmerized and scared to death. All I'm asking,
Yes.
forget about right or wrong, all I'm asking is to be able to sit with somebody like you and say, Doc, this is what they're giving me. This is where I want to be. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to get the pain out of my legs, be able to close and open my hands. I've been on this march now, let me see, 18 years on the deal. I've been on this march for about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's ever sat down and explained vitamin B the way you did today.
Yes.
12 years, Doc? Come on. I mean, I've run into doctors. Some of them are brilliant,
Correct.
scholars. And nobody can explain to me just what you said to me now. There's something wrong with our system.
I see that a lot in my store, that just people walk in and it could be the woman that's coming in to pick up her own prescriptions, and she just brings up her husband, you know, and she'll be explaining someone like you. And we say, well, if you have lab work, bring him in, or we'll try to get some lab work here. We'll get someone to draw his blood. But, you know, in America, what we see is that this usually is not covered by your insurance. So it's really kind of, how serious is it to you to really be shown the way that this is going to help you, but it may be out of pocket. And so a lot of things that are covered, like gabapentin, if it's covered by your insurance and it's cheap and, you know, it's legal to prescribe it for a person with that condition, then the doctor hasn't done any harm. But for you, you know that it has to be another way, and there are other options that you could find in order to take and do something a little bit healthier for you.
Tetracycline was given to me when I was a teenager, truckfuls of it. It destroyed my intestines, and that's why my gut fat and everything else came about.
Yeah.
Nobody ever told me about that either.
We're going to make an appointment for you to go see Doc McMillan.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people
show.
should make an appointment
agree.
to see Doc, because even if you do nothing, at least get educated.
Well, listen,
man.
you see the journey I've been on with my hormones and my thyroid, and it's
The journey. Whew.
It's not. I've known you since before I was 56, and and it's been a journey ever since in regulating. I finally found an amazing doctor, but it took, how many years have I known you? 8. That's willing to regulate everything, because the endocrine will do this, and the GYN doesn't do this, and your primary doesn't do any of it. And you're going from doctor to doctor, and then they give you the troches, and then it's the wrong carrier, and you need the creams, and some things get absorbed through your system faster than others, different absorptions. That's why you got to really take health into your own hands.
But this is what I'm saying. And so vitamin D. Mm-hmm. Not every vitamin D is the same.
No.
Right?
Or the dosages.
Magnesium. Not every magnesium is the same.
No.
What I'm
how
saying.
do we got to wrap this up. I got Sally.
You know,
You're going to talk to Doc on the other side. How do people get in touch with you, and your phone number, website?
We're on the northeast corner of Atlantic Boulevard and Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. And my address is 12 North Federal Highway. And our phone number is 954-283-7075.
It's all about taking your health pharmacy, into
Yes.
your own hands and
Yes.
getting educated.